talking about the darkness. It says daylight, darkness, and changing of the seasons at the North Pole. Which again, ain't no so-called white people living at the North Pole. Those are Japhetic peoples, man. Now it says the darkest time of the year at the North Pole is the winter solstice, approximately December 21st. There has been no sunlight or even twilight since early October. The darkness lasts until the beginning of dawn in early March. Then you get spring, then the sun comes out again, then you get summer, and then you get autumn. So in the winter in the North Pole, there's like no light. But then people survive. Alright, because it's only for like 3 months out of the whole year. So what about the rest of the year? When you get to summer, they get almost continuous light. It says the North Pole stays in full sunlight all day long throughout the entire summer, unless there are clouds. And this is reason that the Antarctic is called the land of midnight sun. After the summer solstice, the sun starts to sink towards the horizon. Now you so-called white people can't deal with that. You know why? Because you have no protection from the sun. Alright? Let's get photokeratitis. Right? Photokeratitis or ultraviolet keratitis is a painful eye condition caused by exposure of insufficiently protected eyes to ultraviolet rays from either natural or artificial sources. Right? And that's going into you so-called white people, man, with your with your blue eyes. So that's why they get something called snow blindness. So if the blue eyes are designed to live in Europe, then why the so-called white people, why are the blue eyes susceptible to snow blindness? Look. In this condition, the so-called white man has to wear UV protected glasses, man. Because he has no melanin in his eyes, man. So his eyes are unprotected from UV light, which destroys your cells, man. It destroys your DNA. That's why we have melanin, man. So you ain't designed to live nowhere, man. Dickheads. Photokeratitis is akin to a sunburn, right? You got leprosy of the eyes. That's why you get burnt by the sun in your eye. And if you got leprosy of the skin, a lack of pigment in your skin, you get sunburn. It's the same thing. It's akin to a sunburn of the cornea and conjunctiva. Alright? And is not usually noticed until several hours after exposure. Symptoms include increased tears and feeling of pain likened to having sand in the eyes. Alright? Let's go down to cause. An intense exposure to UV light, which is damaging, can lead to photokeratitis. Common causes include welders who have failed to use adequate eye protection, such as an appropriate welding helmet or welding goggles. This is termed arc eye, while photokeratitis caused by exposure to sunlight reflected from ice and snow. So in a situation where you got a lot of snow and ice, you can get something called snowburn, snow blindness, and snowburn on your skin. That's why when they go skiing, yeah, they got to put sunblock on. Alright? Because the albedo, let's deal with the words now. You got something called albedo, which is the reflection of light from the earth. And snow has a albedo of almost 1. Almost all the light which lands on snow is reflected back up. That UV light reflects back up. 0.8 to 0.9 fresh snow. So how the hell are you so-called white people designed to live in Europe or live anywhere cold? You're not designed to live anywhere cold, and you're not allowed to designed to live anywhere warm. You're not designed to live in the northern or the southern hemisphere. You're just designed for death. You're a cursed people, man. And don't worry, we're going to get to the scriptures. I just got to bring this information out. You devils, man. You the devil, man. You get snow blindness. You get snowburn. Right? And even the Inuit with brown eyes, they wear snow goggles, man. Because it's intense. If you have to be out there for a very long time, even your brown eyes can be overwhelmed. Now let me show you something about, for the brothers, about the beauty of the Most High, man. The power and the wisdom of the Heavenly Father. Now this is an eye, right? Now This is the part of your eye which will normally have your color and so forth. That protects your eyes, help protect your eye. But I want to go down to this picture. Now in your eye, right, the light goes into your eye through the lens. You got all your optical nerves around here which sense light, right? If you can see. Now you would think that the part of your eye which is sensitive to light would be at the front where the light enters. You would, because if you look here in this image, this is here, the light is coming from this direction, coming this way, where the arrow's pointing. You would think the sensitive part to light would be here, but it's not. The Most High made it where the sensitive part of your cells to light, your rods or your cones, are behind your veins and the main part of the cell. So the light has to travel through the cell to the other end of the cell, to the sensitive part which registers light. Now the reason why the Most High did that is because UV light is so dangerous that if the UV light was to interact with the cells directly, they would be destroyed. That's why the Most High made the cells backward. Now when you go into like octopuses who live in the sea, because they live in the sea and they are not exposed to as much UV light, because the water also obviously filters out and reflects a lot of the UV light, their eyes are designed the other way around, where the sensitive part is closer to the light. The cells are the other way around, which shows you the beauty of the Most High. I just thought I'd add that in there, man. The Most High is glorious, man, and he didn't design you so-called white people to really be on earth, man. You're only going to be here for a small moment in time. Now let's get ultraviolet up. This is all to prove that having no pigment is a curse, no matter where you are. Because no matter where you are on earth, you're going to be exposed to UV light. Winter, spring, autumn, summer, okay? And I didn't say that in the order that they come. I'm just mentioning the different seasons before some idiot come. Oh, see, he said winter, spring, autumn, and summer, okay? Obviously, I know which way it comes around, right? Now, it says ultraviolet light is electromagnetic radiation with a wavelength shorter than that of visible light, but longer than X-rays, that is in the range between 400 nanometers and 10 nanometers or whatever the hell that is. Alright, I'm not sure if it's nanometers or not. Now, let's go down. You get UV light, again, electric arcs from produce UV light, but the sun, okay? It says, although ultraviolet radiation is invisible to the human eye, most people are aware of its effects on the skin, called suntan, okay, and sunburn. So the reason why a so-called black man, the so-called black man is never one color. Not even the so-called black man. Any people of color are never one color. They have a range of colors which they can be. Their bodies adapt to the amount of light which is they're exposed to. Like, you can get someone who's high yellow that when the sun comes, they become very dark. You get a person who's brown in winter, and then when the summer comes, nigga, dark black. That's because their body is adjusting to the amount of UV light they're exposed to protect their bodies from the damaging effects of UV light. Alright? That's why we get tans. And if you can't get a tan, if you can't adjust to the UV light, what happens is you expose yourself too much and you get burnt. And guess what? That can even happen to people of color. If you're a person of color and you just run out into the Sahara Desert and you stay out there and expose yourself to noonday sun, your skin and everything for too long, eventually you are going to get burnt. Because the protection you have from the sun is only going to last so long. No one is really supposed to expose themselves to too much sun. But if you're a so-called white man, you're fucked if you go out there. You're going to burn up quick because you have zero protection. Zero. Okay? You're cursed. Alright? It says short wavelength and... Okay, let's jump down. Because what I really wanted was harmful effects. Showing you so-called white people are inferior. And overexposure to UVB radiation can cause sunburn, which you so-called white people know about. Like the brother Keratitis brought out that video that you crackers over there that moved over to Israel are getting fucked up over there. Because the sun, you can't handle the sun. And some forms of skin cancer. However, the most deadly form, malignant myeloma, is mostly caused by indirect DNA damage, free radicals and oxidative stress. This can be seen from the absence of UV signature mutation in 92% of all melanoma. In humans, prolonged exposure to solar UV radiation may result in acute and chronic health effects on the skin, eye, and immune system. Alright? Moreover, UVC can cause adverse effects that can variously be mutagenic and carcinogenic. UVC rays are the highest energy, most dangerous type of ultraviolet light. Okay? And then it goes on to tells you all the different things that happen to your skin and all that. Okay, aggravation of skin diseases you can get, eye problems, so forth and so forth. And again, if you got blue eyes, you got a problem. You're fucked. If you got so-called white man skin, see-through skin that's got no protection from the sun, you're fucked no matter where you live. Unless you're living in a motherfucking cave with no UV light going in there at all, you got fucking problems, man. You got problems. Alright? Let's even take the polar bear. Guess what color skin a polar bear has? Because you all like to see the polar bear. Polar bears are designed, they live in the Arctic regions, right? They went up there, which a polar bear is just a bear. A polar bear can live anywhere. You got guys saying, oh, if the polar ice disappeared. A polar bear can live anywhere. In fact, polar bears, there's a point where polar bears interbreed with brown bears and black bears. Okay? And produce like hybrids. Because polar bears can live anywhere. They're bears, okay? But they choose to live in the Arctic regions. And guess what color their skin is? Skin. Polar bears have black skin under which there is a layer of fat that can measure 4.5 inches thick. They don't have white skin, okay? Right? Most pigs are not pink, contrary to popular belief. The pink pigs have to roll around in mud to protect themselves from the motherfucking sun. Stupid motherfuckers, man. You stupid motherfuckers, man. Pink pig is a damn cursed pig, man. That's a leprous pig. Now, let's go to Genesis, man. Alright? Let's try to wrap this up in the next half an hour, man. Fuck you so-called white people. Like I said, you don't belong anywhere. And we're going to go into the scriptures now. We've already proved it according to your biology, okay, that you can't stand UV light, which destroys your body, man. The so-called black man, the people of color, we can withstand UV light, man, which makes us stronger than you. Because you are exposed to UV light no matter where you are on the face of the planet Earth. Your eyes are exposed to it and your skin is exposed to it. Now, let's get Genesis 4:1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of the sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And guess what? These were all people of color, because that's the natural way of life, that people have color, animals have color, plants have color. Because why? We live on the earth, and the earth is constantly being bombarded with UV lights. UV radiation. It's a necessity for good health. Now let's jump down, because we all know Cain killed Abel. Now this is what happened after Cain killed Abel. Right. Genesis 4:9. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth. Cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy land. Right? Cursed from the earth, right? The ground, land, cursed from the land.